good. But, and this, the question tonight is, are you a leader, and how do you demonstrate your leadership? All right. I'll run that by again. It's a question. Okay? We're going to talk about tonight how to demonstrate leadership.
Amen.
The topic tonight is going to be how to demonstrate leadership.
Amen.
But like I said, I'm going to ask you a question to go along with the topic. Because again, the topic tonight is, how do you demonstrate leadership?
All right.
And the question is, are you a leader, and how do you demonstrate your leadership?
All right.
Anybody want to go first? No quick question, no right or wrong answer. How do you demonstrate your leadership? Or how many are leaders? Let me ask you, how many are leaders? Let me see the hand of those that are leaders. Okay. Now, how do you demonstrate your leadership?
By example.
Bishop? By example. Okay. By example. Anybody else? By motivation and an example. Okay, by motivation and example. Okay. Okay. So, how you demonstrate your leadership?
Yeah, I guess I would have to say by example, but I would have to use the word by authority also.
Okay. Okay, by authority. Sister, Loretta.
In order to lead, well, you have to be a servant.
A servant. Okay. 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 None of that is wrong. All of that is because that is your opinion on what your leadership. And we know there's various different types of leadership style. If you look at Webster says the leader is something to influence others to accomplish. So how you can take you to influence somebody else to get what it is, that is how you're going to demonstrate your leader. But we take it to the Bible. God have called all men and women to be leaders from the beginning.
Amen.
From the very beginning, God called us to be leaders.
Amen.
Whether we work in our capacity of the leadership that God has called us to do. But when He formed man and when He formed woman, He formed them to be leaders.
All right.
God created them to be the leaders. You and I were born to lead. Everybody in this room was born to lead. Now, you say, well, I may not have the church, I may not have the evangelist ministry, I may not have this, but how many have a family?
All right.
How many have a family?
Amen.
You was born to be a leader. You are a leader, whether you're the head or whether you're the helpmeet or whether you was born to be a leader. But somehow we have took away from what God have called us to do to be leaders, because we look at leaders as saying we got to be behind the sacred desk. We got to be behind the pulpit. We got to be running across America, leading revivals. We have to do all that. That's when we look at that person. That person has really got leadership going. But the truth be told, that person probably not leading the way God wants them to lead.
Right.
Come on.
That's right.
But God have called all of us to be leaders. Now, I believe God have called all of us to be leaders.
Amen.
He have called all of us, so we are born leaders. But tonight we're going to look at 5 observations. We're going to look at 5 observations about how God called us to be leaders and how you demonstrate your leadership ability. God created humankind to lead and rule, but only within the context of His leadership.
All right.
In His context of His leadership, and after creating the universe and the planet on which we live, He handed leadership of the earth over to mankind. Someone give me Genesis 1, 26 to 28. Once He created everything, He turned it over, automated over to man. Genesis 1 and 26. Well, while we get there, first let's go to Genesis 1 and 2. And then I want somebody to give me, we right there, let's go down to 20. Read Genesis 1 and verse 2.
And the earth was without form and void. The darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water.
Verse 3.
And God said, let there be light. And there was light.
Now, as we see that God, when God said, let there be light, there were other words, the world came into what? Existed. But He had no one to really hand the leadership over to. He just had created what? The world. It's right there. He said in the beginning what? God, look at your Bible. He said in the beginning God what? Created what? The heavens and the earth. If you read down the verse, there was nobody, all the way till you get down to verse 26, He started making that. He had nobody to take charge of the earth that He had made.
That's right.
Not one person was there to take charge. But now look what he says in verse 26.
All right.
Verse 26.
And God said,
Who said it?
And God said,
And God said what?
let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Now, as he said, let us make man in his image and his likeness. Very first point, I want to keep on, I want you to get it. One way we reflect God's image is by leading.
Okay.
Because he told them, let them have dominion over. So one way when we reflect our leadership is by the image that God led. He told Adam what to do and how to do it, and he said, I'm going to make you in my image and my likeness. In other words, when he made Adam just like he was. He didn't take anything away from Adam that he had already had on himself. Because he said, I'm going to make him in my image and my what? Likeness. And when you look in the mirror, when you see something you don't see, you see your what? Image.
Amen.
And truth be told, what you see is what you see.
Amen.
What you get.
Well, what you get. So when he's over, he said he made man in his what? In his image and in his likeness. All over the earth that he had created, he wanted to put somebody in charge of it with the same spirit that he had.
Come on, sir.
He wasn't going to put nobody else, but he said when he made it clear, they could well, in my image and my light. He could just say in my image. Think about it. He could just say I create you in my image. But he didn't stop at image, but he said in my image and in my what? My light. So what I like, you should like. The way I lead people, you should lead people.
Okay.
The way I treat people, you should treat
All
people.
right, sir.
Hello, somebody. How do you demonstrate your leadership? Because you was born to what?
Lead. All right, sir.
Okay?
All right, sir.
Tight but right.
That's all right. That's all right.
27. Look what it says in verse 27.
To get
Both men and women have been given the ability and authority to lead. Leadership is not a gender suspect.
Come on, man. Come on.
Specific. I'll back that up. I'll rewind the tape myself on that. It said, both men and women have been given the ability. Somebody said authority earlier. The authority. Have given the ability and the authority to lead. Leadership is not gender specific. Now read it in the verse. Read about verse 27 there for me, elder.
Verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female.
Stop right there. He created what? Male and female in his what? Image. So in other words, the same authority, like I said, he gave Adam, he gave it to the woman that he's going to give him later on. So this stuff, when we start saying, and I'm not here to preach denominational, but when we begin to point we got problem with women and authority, we better go back to the scripture. Because he said he created man and woman in his image and in his likeness. And both of them have the exact same authority. When you have the likeness of God, whether you male or female, you have the same authority.
All right.
But when we don't lead the way God leads, that's when we start putting thumb on folks. When we put thumb on folks, when we don't do it the way God does, we start putting thumb on. Sometimes, you know how when you skin past words in a chapter, sometimes you have not careful. They may say he create male. They may skip that word female because they have an issue with females.
Come on, sir. Come on.
Hello. That's what we got an issue with God. But like I said, they're not saying it because he said he created them. Prince West said he created them both.
That's right.
Male and what? Finish reading the verse.
Created them, amen. Male and female created he them. Amen.
Okay, now verse 28.
And God blessed them. Excuse me, let me get the page turn. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
We are